If you could just say your name
And Mann,
and how old are you today, Anne?
78 and a half.
And where were you born?
North Lake, New Brunswick,
What date?
December 22nd, 1932.
And what were your father and mother's names?
Father, Arthur Thomas Denny, Marguerite Loretta Griffin Denny.
So, what is your first childhood memory, if you can recall it?
First childhood memory from what?
If you can recall your first childhood memory.
I can remember when my brother was born. He's 4 years younger than I am. And I can remember Mom going to the phone to call the doctor. That's about the first thing the big thing that I remember.
And where were you?
I was in Quebec, New Brunswick. We had a big farmhouse.
What was the farmhouse like?
4 bedrooms up, living room, which was called the parlor at that time. You only used the parlor when the priest came or somebody important came to visit. And dining room, bedroom, and a large kitchen downstairs. And shed where your well was in the shed. We had no electricity, of course, way back then. What else did I say about it? So it was a big house. Big maple trees in front. Swings on them, of course, for us as kids. Grandfather and grandmother lived with us for as long as Grandpa was living, until 1940, and then Dido, my grandmother, we called her Dido, she lived with us until I was away in school, and I would have been 12 or 13. And I guess that was it, that I can remember right at the minute.
What did your dad do?
The farmer, woodsman in the winter. He did some guiding. What I mean by guiding is taking American tourists and hunting and things like that. He never shot a deer, and he was just the guy that showed them where to go. But he was very much against, for himself, he didn't like to shoot animals.
So, can you look back at a moment in your childhood, maybe a defining moment, that shaped who you are today?
That shaped, pardon me?
That shaped who you are today?
No. I was always an independent little monkey. I went away to school when I was 12. I weighed 75 pounds. Boarding school. Home at Christmas, home at Easter, home in June.
What are some
I
of your
guess that'd be in Mount Carmel and St. John.
What were some of your memories from the boarding school?
I really enjoyed it because we were used to being on the farm, and kids came to play, but we didn't have people there all the time, just us. 3 kids, 4 kids, 3. But I enjoyed boarding school. I enjoyed the company, I guess, more than anything. And I was through school at 15. And I went back for a year to take grade 12 and didn't like the teacher. So I took commercial instead. And I was working when I was 16. On my own, in St. John. Independent.
That's a good kind of segue into the day you met Grampy.
That's where I met Grampy at Household Finance.
Do you remember that day?
I remember him coming into the office, transferred in from, I think, New Glasgow probably. He was just another guy that came in. Then somehow or other he ended up at a dance I was at. And I had my eye on someone else, but he intervened. And the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah. Do you want to explain your family's role in shaping who you are?
I have I'm the oldest. I have one sister, Maddie, a brother, James, And Mary would have been born in 1940. She was quite a bit younger. And Carmel would have been when I was through school. She was born. She would be 61 or 62. Uh, we worked hard. And anything Dad was doing, my brother and I in particular, like, you wouldn't know what it meant, but roguing potatoes and helping with the hay loads, bringing in the cattle, bringing in the horses. The only thing I didn't like was chickens. I wouldn't do anything for the chickens. I still don't like chickens.
Oh.
I don't like to eat them either.
So how do you rogue a potato?
Pardon?
How do you rogue a potato?
You go through it by walking through every row and take out any disease plants that are there to prevent the disease to go through your field.
So can you speak to what makes you tick on a day-to-day basis? What's your motivational force? Ever thought about it?
No. Just get up and go.
Something must drive you.
Well, I guess I've always had lots of drive. I don't know.
Don't know where it comes from.
Oh yeah, my father and mother probably. Well, you had to work hard on the farm because there was always so much to do. So if you were big enough, you took your share. You did your share.
So I finished off with Grampy, and what I asked him to do was if he has a message for future generations. You think of a message you'd want to impart on them?
Work hard. Uh, make sure that your morals are okay. In other words, don't go down the wrong path. And I guess that's it.
Thank you very much, Nanny.
10 of the 17 are either grandchildren, are either graduated or graduating from university.
You guys have done pretty well.
And the little ones, we don't know yet. But I think all you grandchildren did great, are doing great.
And is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, that's